Hey! Greetings from the World Wide Web. I'm your pilot and host, Luscious Luke, broadcasting from my garage in partnership with the good folks at Horizon Hobby. You know, those folks with the best-in-class RC toys and award-winning service. Today, we're going to start a little series on building and construction. We're actually going to be talking about racks. Not those kind of racks. These kind of racks. Plain racks, to be exact. Today, I'm going to show you how to assemble one out of simple PVC pipe that you can obtain from your local hardware store. Let's go over and check it out. I've got everything laid out on the bench, and we're going to put a parts list together for you so you can head to the store right now, go pick up what you need, and get one of these slapped together. Here's everything you guys are going to need right here on the bench. Again, guys, this is all 1/2-inch regular PVC that you can get from any local hardware store. We're going to cut everything using a hacksaw. I've already cut everything to size, and so we're going to give you guys a parts list of everything that you need to lay out on the bench in order to get it assembled. I choose to use a hacksaw. It's a little bit more controlled, a little safer than a cutoff wheel. Don't worry about getting the cuts perfectly flush or 90 degrees because pretty much everything is going to have caps on it. So again, you need a hacksaw. You're going to need 8 12-inch lengths of 1/2-inch PVC. You're going to need 8 end caps. These right here are 1.5-inch cuts of PVC. You can use whatever scrap you might have from cutting these pipes. So you got 4 of those. You're going to need 2 lengths of 6-inch. You're going to need 6 8-inch lengths. You're going to need a total of 8 1/2-inch T's. Those are 1/2-inch all the way around. And you're going to need 4 1/2-inch 90s. You're going to need a couple of single hole clamps. These are 3/4 inch EMT single hole clamps. These are going to be in your electrical aisle. These fit a little bit tighter around the PVC and hold it nice and tight to the wall. That's what you're going to use to mount the rack once it's complete. A couple of screws with washers on them. Regular Phillips head screwdriver. Stud finder if you so choose. For some reason, this thing keeps beeping as it gets closer to me. I don't know why. I think it's faulty. And a level, because once you get it up on the wall, you want to have things level. Otherwise, your planes won't look good on the wall. Let's go ahead and get this thing put together. All right, here we are on the bench with some of our parts. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to assemble just one rack, and then it'll be up to you to decide how many above that you want to go. Just all depends on how many planes you have to display. That'll tell you how many racks you're going to need. I've got about 8 or 9 spaces on my micro racks that you can see right here, and they go all the way up almost to the ceiling. So it's up to you guys. What you're going to do is start with 2 of your 1/2-inch 90s. Then you're going to take 1 of your 6-inch lengths of 1/2-inch PVC. Go ahead and connect those 2 90s to either end. That's going to be your crossbeam piece. It's what's going to hold the rack together. It's what's going to keep it in line, keep it vertical. So next thing you want to do is take 2 of your 1.5-inch 1/2-inch PVC pipes. These are just some little scrap pieces that I had at the end of cutting my big lengths. Go ahead and throw those in there into the other side of the 90. And what you can do is kind of tap these onto a hard surface, make sure they're both seated equally. From time to time, what I'd recommend is get a level going across some of your connections as you start going up to make sure that these stay perpendicular and level. Otherwise, by the time you get to the very top, it may be going like this and your planes may be sliding off. So be sure to check if you need to shave down some of the PVC to get them to line up good and to stay level. Go ahead and do that as you are working and adding more length to this. Then you're going to take 2 of your 1/2-inch T's. And again, these are just regular old PVC. I believe they use these for water pipe fittings. Go ahead and connect those onto those 2 pieces you just put on. And what you can do is lay this down on your workbench. This is where a rubber mallet or a dead blow hammer could come into play. What I like to do is set them down on the face, tap them just ever so slightly, and that's what makes them perpendicular. They'll be nice and straight. You won't have to do much adjusting when you go to mount it on the wall. So that's your first rack right there. Then what you can do is take 2 of your 12-inch lengths of your 1/2-inch PVC, connect those into the T. And I live in the South. I live in central Arkansas. We have what's called dirt daubers. I know I talk about those all the time because they're nasty little boogers. They like to get inside small, tight spaces like PVC holes. So I chose to use a couple 1/2-inch PVC end caps to cap the tops of my racks to keep stuff out of there, keep spiders out of there. Because I have found dirt daubers nesting inside my foam planes, and they're not fun when you get bit by them. So that's basically it. If you only have one plane, your rack is pretty much done. What you can do is take your other 6-inch piece, put your two 1/2-inch 90s on those sides, take your last two 1.5-inch 1/2-inch PVC pipes, do the same thing like you did for the first crossbeam, and what that's going to do is it's going to tie your rack together, keep it nice and rigid, and these, the top and bottom, will be your two mounting points where your 3/4-inch EMT 1-hole clamps will clamp onto, and you'll be able to clamp them to the wall. Now, if you're like me and you've got multiple planes and need to go up, the reason I don't glue my pipe racks together is because I'm always adding planes to them. So it's not absolutely necessary to glue these pipes together unless you're going to be using this one stand for the one plane forever. If you're like me, I trade planes out a lot. So leave them unglued if necessary, and you can keep going up. And you basically just keep assembling lengths like this, and just keep going up. What you'll do is take one of your 8-inch risers, add that to the other side of the T, and then keep on going up. So my rack for one plane just turned into a rack for 4 planes. And then you'll go ahead and add your joiner at the top, cap it off and finish it, and then mount it to your wall. And then basically what you've designed here, take one of my planes off the rack here, set it on. That's all there is to it. Let's talk about mounting to the wall. All right, here we are. We got it on the bench here. Everything has been assembled. One little trick that I like to use to get these fittings to be perpendicular and level with each other is take a little rubber mallet or even a dead blow hammer, something softer than a regular steel hammer. Set it on the bench, and instead of trying to twist it into place, tap it with your hammer. It'll make little tiny movements and adjustments to where you can get it just how you like it. Make sure these things are nice and perpendicular to each other. And here it is. Now this rack is going to be almost identical to the one that I have on the wall here that I use for my micros. So I'll pull one off here, and these just slide on and sit just like that. Like I said, you can stack them up however high you like to. Now for mounting, we're going to take one of our 3/4-inch EMT 1-hole straps. They call them 1-hole straps because they've got one hole. I like to put them on the top and bottom because it allows you to support the weight of the rack. You rely on some of the tensile strength of the shear strength of your screws. I just use regular sheetrock or drywall screws with a little washer on it. Put it right here on the edge, right on the your 6-inch piece, your joiner. Put your screw and washer right through the hole, and go ahead and find a stud. That's where your trusty stud finder might come in. But if you're like me, mine's faulty, it doesn't work. Screw that to the wall, get it nice and level. Don't forget to level it, and you're about done. Let's show you how to mount it. Hey guys, let's go ahead and get this bad boy mounted on the wall. Be sure to practice good ladder safety, guys. All you're gonna do, get it positioned on the wall kind of where you like it. I've got mine mounted up pretty high just because my space in my garage is fairly limited. So I like them kept up higher off the ground to where I'm not bumping into them and ruining the finish. Go ahead and take one of your 3/4-inch 1-hole clamps and one of your screw and washer combos. Let's get up one more ladder rung. And I chose to locate mine right on the stud, just to make sure it supports any weight that I might add to it. But with some of these micros, guys, it may not be necessary. I'm sure a drywall wall anchor would do the trick. And just go ahead and snug it up to the wall. Don't do it too tight because you obviously don't want to crack any of the PVC. All right, we got the top one up. Let's go ahead and go for the bottom one. And it looks like we're pretty secure here. What you want, last step, you want to go ahead and take any level that you've got, go ahead and add it to the top or the bottom joiners. Make sure you got it fairly level here, because once you get your planes on it, it may not look good if you don't have it level. Then you could go ahead and straighten out your racks, make sure they look nice and even, and that's all there is to it. Go ahead and add your planes. Well, there you have it, folks. As you can see behind me, we've got our plane racks fabricated, we've got them mounted to the wall, and we've got the planes installed on those racks. It's a good way to keep them up and out of the way to where they don't get hanger rash, and it's an excellent way to showcase your collection on the walls of your garage. Guys, head on down to horizonhobby.com to check out their entire lineup of RC related goodies. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Again, I'm your pilot and host, Luscious Luke, signing off. See you at Joel Knoll.